What's the worst fast food restaurant? I can't remember the term for it, but I'm going with the shitting. A lot of places made their money through rapid market expansion. Once they hit their ceiling on market saturation, profits stopped increasing, so the only way to increase them was to reduce costs. Now so many places are shells of their former selves, and as a result a lot of people are going there less. Also the answer is TGI's. That place used to be cracking with okay food and decent drinks, and now it's dingy and probably going to make you need the toilet quicker than you'd want. Picked my youngest up from school today, and on the way home I noticed that 3 of 4 corners at an intersection were occupied by a Burger King, an Arby's and a Taco Bell. I found myself wondering which of the 3 has been the source of the most cases of explosive diarrhea. I'm guessing since it's probably the most popular of the 3, Taco Bell is the winner. I don't eat much fast food these days, but if I were starving and in a hurry I can see making a run for the border. But not Arby's. Never, ever Arby's. Tim Hortons. We're nostalgic for a time when they made fresh donuts and great soup and sandwiches. But that was more than 20 years ago, and now everything is just heated from frozen garbage with garbage dishwater coffee. The only reason they're around is nostalgia and convenience. Americans for the most part didn't fall for their crap when they expanded south because they didn't have one on every corner, and they don't have the nostalgia, and they already have a shitty coffee and donut place called Dunkin'. Chick-fil-A is just boring. As a kid I was intrigued by waffle fries. But now it's just so boring. Fries, boring chicken sandwiches, boring salads. I get that the appeal is how they force employees to always act happy, and have a zero-tolerance policy for an employee to be rude. But even that's concerning because I'm sure that causes a lot of employees anxiety about what's considered rude to those people. I rather like the food at Checkers, but multiple locations in the Philadelphian area had the worst service I've ever experienced at a restaurant, screwed up orders, or simply immobile waiting lines every time. I basically gave up on them, and now they're all gone. Ate at one in an airport maybe already a few years ago, and it was all good, so maybe it was just the Philly franchisees. I think KFC abandoned the American market and put all its resources into the Asian market, because KFC in Korea is something else. The chicken is breaded perfectly, no mouth-destroying rock-hard breading, and the ratio of bread into actual chicken meat is perfectly balanced. Also, the sauce selection, so many good sauces. The fries were great too. I've had so many bad experiences with so many different places that I can't pick one, but if I was forced I'd have to go with KFC. I had a rancid piece of chicken at a KFC and told management about it, and they tried telling me it was normal and there was nothing wrong with the chicken. It was runny and purple colored and smelled like shit. McDonald's. They always screw up orders or even sometimes lose them altogether, but still manage to keep your money. I've never had them get my order right, not once. No matter which restaurant I've been to, and as I said above, they also lost an order of mine before, but I never got my money back either. So I quit going there. McDonald's. One of my little nephews left his hamburger in his mom's vehicle for a few months before they cleaned out their car and found it. There was no mold nor decay on it. If it doesn't break down and start to stink like real food, then I'm not putting it in my body. Makes you wonder what's really going on in there. I think there's tiers of fast food restaurants, and everything on the bottom tier is equally as shitty. They may sometimes make up for it in value, but if all prices were equal I would go to one of their competitors. Bottom tier fast food nationwide chains: Arby's, KFC, Subway, Little Caesars, White Castle. If no one else is going there, I'ma say McDonald's. Lukewarm when fresh, increasingly more bland and tasteless as supply chain issues cause ingredient swaps in favor of cheaper materials. That's how you go from paying $1 for a 5 ounces McDouble in 2005 to $3.29 for a 3.4 ounces McDouble in 2023. Chick-fil-A. It really is kinda shitty food, and they're run by religious fundamentalist assholes who only stopped publicly discriminating against LGBTQ people after their sales were threatened. I bet they still quietly donate money to hate groups just like the Salvation Army does. Burger King. The last time I ate there I got food poisoning from a breakfast sandwich. The second to last time I ate there I bit down on a bone in my chicken finger. Haven't eaten there in at least a decade, so it could have changed since then, but I don't think I'll chance it again. Long John Silver's. I honestly don't think I've met one person who has eaten there, let alone has an opinion about it. There's something fishy about that. Reddit. Well, gave me. I didn't know this was a common thing. First 3 comments all the same. There's something going on that has to be answered based on expectation. Literally nobody ever said wow, that my cheeseburger wasn't the best quality ever. Now, if you go spend $20, wait a lot longer, and get 419 extra fries, then it very literally is like being fucked by Five Guys. Absolutely hands down the worst sandwich I've ever received was from Panera. 1-2 slice of pastrami, 1-2 slice of Swiss, a few shreds of sauerkraut on dry stale bread. Inedible. I actually thought I was getting plunked, and looked around for a camera. McDonald's. The food somehow just keeps shrinking and getting more disgusting, while simultaneously increasing in price. The restaurants look like the inside of a prison cell. The cool stuff for kids is gone now. Not quite sure what they were thinking. I think it depends on the location. There are 2 Burger Kings near me and one is always horrible and the other has hot fries, fresh buns, and sizzling burgers. You get a good manager and good staff in a store that is literally the only difference. McD's. Same crap quality, but they jacked up their prices like crazy cause they're pretending they're better somehow. They aren't, it was just a marketing campaign. So from a price versus what you get basis? McD's is the worst by a mile. Unpopular opinion: White Castle. They're liars. Don't cut out half of my already tiny burger and lie to me about some flavor holes BS. You're meat thieves. Second runner-up, pickled chickens for Jesus can go straight to hell. Checkers. I've never had it before because their customers all look homeless and that makes me think they have lower standards for food. Downvote away, but the customers at Chick-fil-A look more like my kind of people. Five Guys. Overpriced, greasy, pseudo-gourmet version of Wendy's. Their fries are the only half-decent thing they've got and the reason they give you so many is to mask that the rest of their food sucks. I see a lot of Long John Silver hate. Those lobster bites they had a few years back were the best thing I've ever eaten off the fast food menu since McDonald's fried their apple pies. KFC had the best box of bone-in barbecue wings back in the 90s. That disappeared and then California outlawed lard for cooking. So some blame goes to the state for telling us what to eat. Depends on location, TBH. Based on the scaled down menu, I'd have to say KFC for me. I've always liked Popeyes better, and KFC got rid of most of the stuff that set them apart. As far as big chains that are everywhere, it's gotta be Carl's Jr. with Jack in the Box and Arby's close runners up. Although Whataburger was the worst burger I've ever eaten. I have a stomach of steel when it comes to fast food. Not even Taco Bell gives me an above average shit. But when it comes to White Castle, some things just can't be saved. Long John Silver's. Ate there once and everything tasted like rancid oil and was so saturated with oil that it would drip. They even found a way to fuck up hush puppies. Chick-fil-A. That place went right downhill. Me and my 2 kids $45 for a subpar shitty chicken sandwich. I get mad every time I eat there. I'm done. Never go back. Five Guys is really not worth the price these days. Better burgers at lower prices are readily available. That said, they do have what are among my favorite fries. Arby's is pretty fucking gross. I'm not a food snob by any stretch of the imagination, but I got Arby's once recently on a car trip, and I couldn't actually eat it. White Castle is like eating the worst burgers you've ever had, but you're also inside of the gas station bathroom. Also, it's dirtier than most gas station bathrooms. Golden Corral doesn't have a drive-thru, but their food is fast and really shitty. The one in town here is dirty and workers suck. I don't know how they stay open. Everything at Wendy's now tastes like it was made last weekend and stored in the back of the fridge, uncovered. Used to be my fave, now they're dead to me. McDonald's, Burger King, KFC and Taco Bell restaurants top the list of the chains with the worst rating in the first ranking of major fast food companies. Raising Cane's for me. I know a lot of people love it, but it's flavorless, overly battered dry rubber and a mixology of condiments for their famous sauce. Long John Silver's, and it's not even close. I haven't had it in over 10 years and I don't know anyone who eats there. How are they still in business? Subway. The ingredients don't taste fresh. They don't give you enough meat or cheese. The bread tastes sweet. It's not even that cheap anymore. Long John Silver's. I have yet to eat anything actually edible there. I have yet to not get sick every time I've been there. No more LJS for me. Chick-fil-A. The most disgusting chicken sandwich I ever tasted. Dry chicken, soggy hard bun. One time was enough to never go back. AW. It's one of those places where no one goes, but it's just there. Kind of like Long John Silver's, but even that's more populated. Chipotle. Every single portion keeps getting smaller and the prices keep going up. It's crazy that people keep paying for it. Emo KFC. They got rid of their beloved potato wedges. The only thing I got there anymore was those and the mashed potatoes. Burger King. I'm convinced they're cooking cardboard at this point and selling it off as French fries and Whopper burgers. Can't believe Popeyes isn't at the top of the list. I love their chicken, but the service is so bad I won't go anymore. Rally's Checkers. The absolute greasiest, gristliest burger I've ever eaten. That includes school cafeteria food. I have always been horrified at Chipotle. It always just tastes so awful. Maybe it's BC, I live in LA, who knows? Church's Chicken. If the food isn't bad enough, you'll probably get shot in the ghetto neighborhood it's likely in. I worked at McDonald's at 16 for a summer, now 38 and haven't stepped foot in one since that summer. Disgusting, vomiting face. It's only in certain parts of the country I had it in LA, but Yoshinoya made McDonald's look like Ruth's Chris. McDonald's maybe. It's the king of them and the worst at the same time, and that's why it's the king of them. I'd like to nominate Cici's Pizza. Not quite the same model, but Jesus. Also Little Caesars. Hot garbage. It brings me great pain to report that this title now belongs to Burger King. They used to be great. Arby's, by far I went one time and it was the worst food I've ever eaten. I will never go again. White Castle. I've seen more cockroaches in White Castles than I have seen in my entire life. In our city it's now Burger King. It has gone way downhill and a lot of them have closed too. KFC. I can't say I've ever experienced anything other than disappointment with their food. Gonna get banned from the Philippines for saying this, but Jollibee is borderline inedible.